Okay, this video's been a long time coming that I wanted to make for a journal, just to vlog it and have it here. I'm a little tired. I make videos a lot of times when I'm tired, but this is just kind of have. But I'm reflecting on the 21 or 22. I was just counting the experience of applying to those graduate schools. So I have the document here in front of me, and I don't know, like, why did I apply to that many schools is like one thing I think of, and I'm trying to think like the process of what happened. But I remember originally I visited 3 schools on the West Coast that I wanted to go to last year, and I thought those were the only 3. And I live in the Midwest. I went to one in Oregon, one in Seattle, and then one in San Diego. And I thought I'm just gonna go to those 3, and then people were saying I should try to look at the cost and try to go somewhere cheaper, and then also maybe not move and try to get a ride, get a scholarship, and things like that. So when I looked at all that, I started to apply to all these like state schools, and I think I contacted. So I go to grad school for mental health and marriage and family therapy, and I went through the whole list on COAMFTE. It's COAMFTE, I think it is, their website. I contacted so many schools, and this is actually a narrowed down list, is the point, this 22 schools. But I definitely was like, I had to get organized with it. I've got a couple columns like school names, current status, I mean, how many years it takes, deadlines, credits, if they took the GRE or not, practicum start date, their school code for the GRE, there was just so many columns. I'm not going to go through all of them, but if anybody comes across this video, is in this field, I'm obviously going to save this. I can share it. We'd be happy to email and help out, because I know when I was doing this, I was searching for videos, and I found some people online, but to find anybody with like 22 graduate schools in my field, I don't think I found that. So and I think any mental health field will be pretty related, social work or psychology. I found a color-coded thing helped a lot. Like, I did color-coded columns on the side, but so different things on the key on the bottom. I had a key on the bottom. The key says like orange was rejected for me. This other color was invited for an interview, voluntarily withdrew, halted app, interview complete, waiting, accepted, could go for free. That was like a special mark. Been a long time, probably rejected, waitlisted, and paperwork, then waiting if I get an interview. So there's 3, 4, 5, so whatever colors make sense. And seeing with all this stuff, like, if you do this, like, whatever questions make sense to you, and you could use this in another field too. So the schools I applied to, I do want to kind of go through it. Applied to Colorado State. I did not get in there. They had a really good program. University of Nebraska, I got invited for an interview. I had so much fun. I met some really great people in the interview. One person I still stay in touch with. We're friends, and they go to school in one of the Carolinas. I can't remember which one. Maybe South Carolina. So don't quote me on that. And then from there, I thought it was cute. It was a cute town though, Nebraska, Lincoln, Nebraska. Very not meaningful drive from the Twin Cities though. That was it stood out in that way, that there was not much. Okay, Oklahoma State, I got rejected from there. University of Kentucky, rejected. Purdue, which has like arguably the best MFT program in the country, especially for like preparing students to do doctoral work later. I got an interview there, and that was pretty amazing. Oh, that's where I met some people. I'm mixing up my schools right now. No, I don't even remember right now. Part of being tired, try not to remember details. Okay, so Purdue though was amazing. really nice facilities. It's in like Hammond, Indiana, that campus. So didn't get in though eventually. Kansas State, didn't get in. I'm gonna skip. I'll just keep going to the ones I didn't get into. So Utah State didn't get into. Thomas Jefferson in Philadelphia didn't get into. They had a nice sex therapy certificate, which I'm interested in. Southern Mississippi, I said I didn't get in. I don't know if that's true or not, because towards the end, it was more of a time crunch thing, and I might have withdrew. I don't remember. Auburn University, that was kind of cool. I made it to the final round. That one, if anybody has any video or wants to see a video interview, I can post it. I have a private link. I didn't share it on my site, but I made that a while back to send it to the school. So the reason I said that is because I did get invited to a final interview with that one. And I didn't get in because of the phone conversation afterwards. I'm like 95% sure it's because they asked me, it was a student, and they asked me, like a doctoral student there, that said, hey, what are your thoughts on living in the South? Because you live, up north, and I've lived my whole life up north in Philadelphia and now the Twin Cities. And I showed some hesitation. I was honest. I was like, I don't know. I'm sure it'll be different and adjustments. And so there's that one. University of New Hampshire didn't get an interview. And then San Diego State didn't get in. So the ones I got into, it's a lot of schools I didn't get into. The ones I got into, I did get into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 6 schools out of 21. 6, 12, 18, 21. 6, 12, 18, 24. So between 1 and 3 and 1 out of 4 schools, something like that. Right? So the school I got into were 3 local ones. I got into St. Cloud University, and I got into St. Mary's, which is super local here, and then University of Wisconsin Stout. I got into the one in Seattle, Antioch. Oh, I did get into Antioch, New England, and Antioch, Seattle. So I did apply to 22 graduate schools. I think so. I only listed one on here though. So there's all that, and then let me start over again. So I got the 3 local schools. I got Antioch, then I got into Lewis and Clark in Portland. I got into University of Oregon, and that was everything, I think. Yeah, so that makes all of them. So then as far as like the decision process, once I got in, it was super painful for me, because I really wanted to go to University of Oregon. They have this center of men's, I forget what it's called right now, but basically it's a men's center for mental health, and they already do a lot of good work around masculinity and things like that. And at the time I thought, I felt really passionate about doing like a thesis in that area. The problem was it was 3 times the cost. I was just emotionally exhausted at that point, and I had to do, so I got some scholarships. I think I got like 2, I got an $8,000 scholarship, and then there's another one I was waiting to hear back from, which I eventually did get, but it was also like another $8,000, which it sounds great, but the school is like $80,000 if I want to do a thesis, like $90,000. So it's expensive. I mean, compared to the local schools here, St. Mary's, I don't know, around 30,000. St. Cloud, I could have gone to for free, pretty much. I'll explain a little bit why I just didn't go there. And then the other one was Stout. So, which is one of the University of Wisconsin campuses. So basically, the other thing that happened with University of Oregon is I had a chance to get a GA job position where they would have waived my tuition, and the problem was I thought that I wasn't going to get an answer by the time I needed it, if that makes any sense, like for me to be able to give them an answer from the school to a job to the other schools, like so. I ended up not doing it, and I could have. So there's a little bit of regret there. I'm definitely like overall like I'm fine with it. I'm happy right now because there was other reasons I wanted to stay for now, also. So that's why that one went off the list. St. Cloud, I'm just gonna go through the ones that I got into, why I didn't go there. So St. Cloud, I didn't go. I knew the old director, who was a minority, and just some conversations that I had. They didn't feel like the right fit, for me personally. I don't know how much I want to really get into that here, so I'll probably just keep it general. Just not a great fit. And then the next one I didn't go to was the Antioch in New England. That one was a remote program, so I would have had to, I could have moved there, but classes weren't that often, and it was the first one I got into, so I was excited. They interviewed me, gave me an answer really quick. They do great stuff with like social justice, so that's why I cared about them. And they have a doctorate program in that campus. That's the New England one. So the Seattle one, I think I halted the process. Then they said, hey, just keep going where you're going, and if you don't like it there, you can transfer after a semester. Which brings me to where I'm going. I ended up choosing University of Wisconsin Stout. It was 1/3 the price. I was told by a lot of people just to save money and stuff. It was about 30, actually I think like 28,000. I get reciprocity in Minnesota, but then I added the sex therapy certificate, so that made it an extra 7,000, which is expensive. If anybody wants to do that, I would look at the Northwest Institute of Intimacy or the Modern Sex Institute. And there's also another one in New England. It's smaller. I don't know if it's smaller necessarily. I can't remember. And there's a couple others too. They're more efficient. I mean, like you could probably do the whole thing for 7,000 and get your supervision. So for me, I'm going to end up paying an extra, probably double the price with supervision. I just wanted to use student loans, which is the benefit of having it tied into school, and that it balances itself out with the schoolwork versus if I would have had to fly away on my own for like a conference. Here, it's just tied into my coursework pretty well. So I don't know. This is pretty much the gist of everything. I'm looking at the time. It's a 12-minute video, but I think I'll probably cut it short. I just wanted to make it. I mean, in hindsight, I don't think I learned from it. I think like if I do apply to doctorate programs, I would definitely, I mean, there aren't even that many, people don't apply to that many, but I probably would apply to like 5 or something at the most, which still would be a lot, I think, at this point, because I'm pretty exhausted with applications. So I don't regret it. I think it was fine, but it is one of those things that's ironic. I ended up staying locally. There was some things I wanted to just take care of. I have a lot of tattoos, and my tattoo artist lives here. I wanted to get my work done before I left. It seemed, and I was judging myself about that for a while. I was like, oh, this is super superficial, and at the end of the day, it's something that's like a self-care thing for me. So it is what it is, Anyways, yeah, this is the vlog of that. I wanted to make it tonight. It's like midnight. Tomorrow is official first day of grad school with my cohort. I had summer classes that were mostly online. So, all right, peace. Hit me up, message me, subscribe if you want. Let me know if you have any questions. I would love to answer them. If I'm slow, it's because I'm in grad school. But I will get back to you. I'm sure I'll get back to you sooner than it seems. All right, peace.